welcome back in or welcome to if you're just tuning in for the very first time to the Don't Start Yo Shit podcast episode 31. Hope you guys enjoy episode triple ecstasy. Um didn't have an episode last week, Mother's Day weekend. I wanted that weekend to be for the moms, but we back for this episode of this week, and this will be my last episode in my 20s. Can you guys believe it? My birthday is on the 21st. That's next Wednesday. I will officially be 30. I'm leaving my 20s era. So clap it up for me, birthday boy. Yeah. One moment. My bad. Gotta do it right, you know? But yeah. So like I said, birthday's coming up, turning 30. So this episode is just gonna be kind of a recap of my 20s era, the decade of the 20s. And that's basically all I wanted to be. I want to give an ode to my 20s, death to my 20s. I'm going to retire them. So let's get this last episode of my 20s started, shall we? Um, so in my 20s, uh, it was it was so up and down. A lot of lows, couple of highs, man. They say your 20s are your most interesting time. Your 20s are supposed to be a time where you make a lot of mistakes so you can correct them for when you get older. You're supposed to experience a lot of things, have a lot of fun, mess up, um, really figure out. You're really supposed to figure out life as you're having fun in your 20s, and I feel like that's exactly what happened for me. When you look at it, my early 20s, um, I'm just getting acclimated to being a father. I had my daughter at 19, so I'm a year into parenthood. Um, that was a tough time. Um, but also that was a time where I had just got my own place on my own officially for the very first time, without anybody, without the mother of my child, anybody, just me. My first house was next to a graveyard. Um, your first place is always supposed to be the most interesting one, and mine definitely was. Um, but I got my own place, and that was also the time when I got my own place where me and the mother of my child went through our battles, our trials and tribulations. But it's okay. We, as you can see, we came out on the other side. But it was still tough. It's one of those learning moments, one of those life lessons where you have a fallout with somebody and you're not sure if you're gonna be able to get through it or even come back from it. But you know, we did. We got through it. We came back from it, and now we on a good path forward to the future. Hell, we halfway done raising our daughter at this point now. She'll be 11 this year, so clap it up for that. Um, my early 20s, man. As I'm figuring out how to navigate life on my own, I'm working. This is also where I have my two dog attacks at work. So I was hospitalized twice in my early 20s on the job. Uh, I wanted, but that second one, I can't even be mad at because that second one sent me to uh, my first WrestleMania. Uh, so shout out to that dog. I don't even know if that dog's still alive. Probably did, but shout out to that dog for sending me to something I've always dreamed of. I never. It was so hard. Everybody knows I'm a WWE fan. I'm a wrestling fan. I always thought and dreamed of going to WrestleMania. I just didn't know if I ever was going to be able to. And I was able to go to my first WrestleMania in Orlando. That was also my first flight because of that dog attack. Um, and I want to say, yeah, that's what kind of like my early 20s going into my mid 20s was like. That's when I first started to like travel, take some trips. Like I said, I went to 4 WrestleManias, one in Orlando, 2 in Dallas, 1 in New Orleans. Um, so those were good travel experiences for me. Those were family trips. I got to go with my brothers who live in other states, and I only get to see them maybe once or twice a year, if that. So we all link up for that because we all are fans. We get to bring our children. They get to be together because they've all grown up pretty much distantly from each other. So get to bring them together a couple times. Our parents got to come too, which added to the trip. So it's really a family thing. Um, the most interesting trip that I got to take in my early 20s though was I got to overcome my fear of open water and getting on a boat to go on a cruise with my sister and the rest of the fam, her side of the family. Um, which that was such a great trip for me. Because for one, when the boat first take off, you feel it shaking, you feel the waves, you feel emotion and all that. And I'm somebody who has motion sickness, so that was also uh, one of the things I had to overcome. But once the boat levels out, you really don't feel it, um, and you forget you even on a boat. And it was just a great time. Comedy shows, the food, Guy Fieri's burgers. Oh my god! Um, they had open mic night. They had a nightclub. Of course, the water slides, and it was a beautiful thing. Of course, and then you get off the boat to do your excursions. We went to Mexico, um, Rotan, Belize. Um, where else we went? Dang, that's Cozumel, and it was one other place too that I can't. Saint, it was Saint something. I can't remember. I'm sorry. My memory, getting older, getting old. But yeah, getting off the boat, having those experiences. I got to play a guitar on the beach in Mexico, zip line through the jungle, um, just stuff that you would only dream of. And I did all this without I didn't need my passport at the time. I have my passport now, and I still haven't stamped it yet. I need to go ahead and stamp it, but I got to go out of the country without my passport. But I want to, of course, I want to be able to experience that stamp on my passport. I still got to do that. So hopefully I can get back to Mexico. Yeah, but yeah, early 20s. I met my best friend, um, Jazz, um, who played a very important, pivotal role during that time period of my life because that was also the time period where I picked up gambling. Um, and of course, I know I'm reiterating stuff that I've already said, but like I said, this is a recap. If you haven't seen any of my episodes, I used to have a gambling problem real bad, um, and that was also my gambling. My gambling probably derailed where my life could be right now. I lost a lot of money and I squandered away an opportunity because of it. Um, in my early 20s, I had quit my job. I had been there 3 years, and I had like $7,000 in retirement. But at that time, I had just took over the family business DSB from my brother, and I decided to go all in to have time and all that. So I quit my job, and I had $7,000 at my disposal. Now I could have had pretty much half my bill. I could have had my bills paid up for half the year with that, and then the rest I could have invested into the business. That's not what happened. When I took over the business, being naive, being young in my early 20s, I just thought that, you know, if I made a good product, people was automatically gonna buy it. I felt like I was gonna be just rich by the time I was 30 because this business was gonna blow up. But when it came down to it, I quit my job to go full time in the business. Instead of investing that money in the business, I gambled. I gambled most of it away, um, and I got to a point where when I got paid, the money was pretty much gone because I had to take out a loan using my vehicle as collateral, and I couldn't lose my vehicle, so I made sure I had the money to pay it. But like I said, I pay my bills and my debt, and then I have no money left for weeks at a time. And it was hard for me to feed myself, feed my daughter, which was the moment where I realized I had to make a change. I couldn't be in a position where I couldn't feed my child. So that was a real wake up call for me. And my best friend, she really helped me get through that. Um, I'll a lot of getting out of the darkness to her, and that's even with her going through her own stuff that she was going through at the time. I think we just met each other at the right time, perfect storm, and all that. So, best friend, I thank you for the pivotal role that you played in my life during that time period. Um, so my early 20s was real rocky, real rocky, and then I go into my mid 20s. I call my mid 20s my love era, my era of being in love, even though I didn't get into a relationship, and that's another thing. I didn't get into a relationship in my 20s at all. No relationship whatsoever. But in my mid 20s, I met somebody, um, and it wasn't an initial, oh yeah, I'm gonna be with this person. But as time passed, I couldn't help but fall in love with this person. Not to harp too much on that because I've had a whole episode about it. But I want to say uh, when I was about to turn 26, I was preparing myself to propose to this person and get engaged. Um, and I hadn't always thought about being a husband to somebody, but I never knew what it looked like or what that would feel like to be a husband until I met her. And she put me in that mode to she put me in husband mode. Um, I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort molding myself into what I thought would be a great husband for her. Planned a life together, planned a life with her in it. I want to say for a span of like at least 3 years. There was no, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be married to this person and we wasn't going to go run off and live happily ever after and things like that. But it didn't work out that way, and that's okay. But she made me realize that I could be a husband, and I got to see what me in husband mode look like. Caring for someone, loving someone more than you love yourself, loving someone more than you love life itself, willing to die for someone. Like, I got to experience what that felt like because of her, and I haven't felt that again since. Um, because I'm not a person that gets attached very easily. If I talk to somebody, if I like somebody, like I've really fallen for you, and that takes some time, and it's a feeling. Um, so like I said, I want to thank this person for opening that part of me back up again because I thought that part of me was dead after my first failed relationship. I didn't know if I could love again. I didn't know if I wanted to be married again. I didn't know if I could be a husband or be a good partner. And going into my mid 20s showed me just how much love I have to give and just how much love I will hope to receive at some point in return. And, you know, no ring on the finger. So just because it didn't work out for me and this person being together romantically, um, it doesn't mean I don't have hope for the future. I did have a point where I just felt like I was here to just make other people happy and not be happy myself. I got to a point where maybe I didn't think I deserved happiness. Maybe this life isn't for me to live in happiness. It's just for me to be here to make other people happy. Um, And sometimes I still do feel that way, if I'm being completely honest. I do still feel like I'm not meant to be happy in this life. Um, but I remain hopeful that that can change. I may not have had a relationship in my 20s, but I do plan on being married in my 30s. Like, that is a goal of mine, to find someone to love me the way that I love them, as hard as I love them, and eventually get married. Um, and yes, I have thought about what life would have been like if me and this person actually did get together and get married. For one, I wouldn't be living in the same city that I live now. I would have moved. Um, Probably would have had to had a career change. Probably wouldn't be able to have the same type of job, but that's okay because I hate my job anyway. Um, may or may not have had another kid by now. Don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't know what life would have been like had we gotten together, gotten married. Maybe it would have been a beautiful thing. Maybe it would have not turned out so great. Guess we just won't know. But um, just knowing that I can be that guy and knowing that I can be that guy for someone, that's all I needed to know. And I thank this person for bringing that out of me. Um, and this was like era 25 to, we're going to say 25 to 28, span of 3 to 4 years of being in love with this person. Um, Love era. Uh, if you guys only knew and seen the things that I actually did, um, and I didn't do it, to clarify, I didn't do it expecting or hoping that we would end up together. I truly did everything that I did because I genuinely just love this person. I want to see this person happy no matter what. Um, but the things I was doing, I even surprised myself. And you got to ask yourself, well, what does being in love look like? It's different. It's different for different people. But love for me was like 90% of your thought process is about this person. If most of your day this person is on your mind, that's a form of being in love. Um, if you don't talk to this person at all, your day is incomplete. Like, it was a wasted day if you don't at least say, hey, good morning, what you doing, good night. It don't matter. It could just be one word. If you don't say anything to this person doesn't say anything to you, you don't communicate, it's an incomplete day. That's a form of love. Just wanting this person to just wanting to see this person more happier than you even want to see yourself. Form of love. Like I said, planning a life together without this person even knowing, just planning a future together. And that future just revolves around giving them the best life, the softest life they could possibly have. Form of love. It was all a beautiful thing. It's so many integral things that went into it. And I'm grateful for the experience because now I know what to look for. I know what I want, and I know what I can be. I still haven't even reached my full potential yet. That's the scary part. So, and then transitioning into my later 20s, it's crazy when you're a teenager and then you hit your 20s. You don't even think about 30s and beyond. When you're young, when you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s, you feel invincible. Like, life doesn't really hit you until you're about to leave your 20s. When you're 20s, all you can think about is what is the most you can get out of just being in your 20s. You're not even thinking about life after the 20s. You're not thinking about nothing. But once I got past 27, I started to look off into the distance, and here come my 30s. I'm like, oh my. The fun, and I don't want to say the fun is over because you should be able to have fun all throughout life. But the time for playing games really is coming to an end because you don't want to get to your 30s playing games. Going into my later 20s, I started to put myself in the mentality, okay, what am I going to do to live the life I want to live by the time I get to 40? Because my 30s, I have to establish myself financially to when I get to my 40s, Lord say the same, my 40s can truly be a golden era. Your 40s are supposed to be a golden era, and your 30s is supposed to be that decade where you make your 40s your best decade. So I had to think to myself, what am I going to do going into my 30s? What am I going to do to be the best version of myself, to be the happiest version of myself? And then of course I found myself getting back into content creation. And start thinking to myself, some of the things I wanted to do within the content space, and like I said, make skits, uh, do my podcasting, um, get into maybe get into some like doing some panels, doing some comedy stuff, doing some drama. I I'm really want to get into. I don't want to say filmmaking, but I do want to make some content that looks just as good as film, but shorter. Um, and yeah, my later 20s is just for me. It just got me into the mode of like, okay, how am I going to be a responsible adult in my 30s? And like I said, I found myself being back into a space where I feel like I wanted to be, because I think about now when I was in college, I gathered $20,000 in debt after 1 year pursuing a degree in a field that I realized that I don't even want to do. Um, I was in school for communications, which I was going to parlay that into sports broadcasting because I thought that's what I wanted to do, and if I had continued in school and finished that out and pursued that, I would have just put myself in so much debt obtaining a degree in something I don't even feel like I was best suited for. Because even though I love sports, but sports broadcasting is more about journalism. When you're writing, you're trying to get facts and all that stuff. And I'm more of a creative thinker. Like journalism really puts you in a box because you got to be factual. You got to get things minuscule and accurately right. And I'm so much more of a free thinker, a free writer. Like that would have just it would have really suppressed my creative flow. Um, so And I feel like a lot of us do that. A lot of us have pursued degrees and even gotten degrees in something we're not even really passionate about. We we pursued it because we know the field could make good money, but not all money is good money. Because a lot of times you get out here, for one, you graduate and you can't even get a job in the field. But even if you get a job in the field, you realize how unhappy you are in the field. You was just doing it because it made good money. But even the money is not enough to overcome your happiness. I'm happy doing what I do now, and I all I have to do is continue to take it to another level. I'm in my creative flow right now. So my late 20s just helped me realize that I need to be my own creative person, uh, and I do believe things are going to work out for me. I just got to keep going, man. I've got to be great in my 30s so I can have a golden 40s. Um, if I'm looking back on my 20s era, are there any regrets that I have? Yeah, a couple. Um, I think I regret not getting into stand up sooner. As one of my biggest regrets. I feel like I could have. I feel like if I had wrote some material down, put a set together, and got a small audience of people that I know and put on a show, or even do an open mic night, I feel like I could have did really well. Even if I bombed, I feel like it would have helped me grow and get better to a point where maybe I'd even be on tour now or taking um, certain performance, taking certain gigs, just performing stand up. Stand up is something close to my heart. I love to laugh. I love comedy. I feel like I'm a funny person. I feel like it was something that I could have done earlier on in life that I just never took serious enough to try, and I felt like I should have. Um, I regret. Oh man, honestly, I regret things, but in hindsight, all those regrets that I have made me a better person. It gave me the knowledge that I needed and the knowledge that I have today. So even though they're regrets, I'm thankful for them. And like I said, it's about wisdom, man. I'm wiser from 20 to 30, so much more wiser, so much more life experience, and yeah, it was my 20s was it was interesting for me. I know people have had much wilder 20s. I know people who have much milder 20s. I feel like I was kind of in between. I feel like I took the risk that I needed to take when I needed to, and I felt like I chilled when I needed to chill because I haven't gotten in trouble. Knock on whatever wood when I was put in situations where I could have gotten in trouble, and I feel like the chill side of me saved me, and I feel like the taking risk side of me opened my eyes to stuff that most people are afraid to explore. I took up boxing and mixed martial arts in my 20s. So um, don't don't test me. I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Um, yeah, I want to thank all the friends that I made along the way who've played a pivotal role in my life: Jazz, Jai, Javante, um, Caleb, so many other people, man. Like I thank all the people that I've crossed paths with who are still in my life to this day. I want to thank my family for being here for me during the times that I needed them. Um, my brothers, my parents, my sister. Um, I don't have a big family. We're very small, but we take care of each other, if and when we can. We got each other's backs, man, because we have to. It's not many of us. We got to have each other's back. Um, I'm thankful for my daughter. I got to spend my decade of my 20s was her first decade of life, and she's given me a lot to think about, and she's given me a lot of experiences too. I want to say to my daughter Nala, I love you. I know that I, I, for one, I'm sorry that I couldn't have given you more your first 10 years of your life. Daddy's not perfect. Daddy's made a lot of mistakes. Daddy's trying to work through it and get better, to be a better parent. I hope to give you a better life going forward. I'm truly working on that. But I want to thank you for everything you've meant to me in my life. You've saved me on more occasions than I can ever explain to you. You just don't understand. I know it seems like sometimes I'm hard on you and that I'm not showing a lot of emotion towards you physically and all that stuff, but I do genuinely love you. Um, I'm gonna work on all of that. I'm trying to be more understanding to you because you're getting older. You're about to be 11. You're going into your preteen years, and you'll be in your teenage years pretty soon. So I'm trying to be more understanding of what I need to be as a father to you, so I can get you through these next 7 to 8 years to get you to the adult woman that you're gonna become. Um, I'm happy that you're in my life. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I want you to know that. I don't want you ever to feel like I don't love you because I do. I always have and I always will. No matter what you do, you will always be my daughter. And I needed you during these 10 years. I really did. So thank you for being my daughter. Thank you for being you authentically all the time. And I love you. And I wanted to keep this video at 30 minutes. 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30, I'm 30 for 30. So we winding down here. I want to say thank you to everybody who tunes into my videos, everybody who has subscribed to the channel, everybody who comments, likes, and subscribes. Um, you guys are continuing to push me and motivate me to keep going. I'm not stopping. I'm all gas, no brakes with it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So thank you to my shift starters for being loyal to the channel. Thank you for everybody that I've encountered in my 20s, both good and bad. Um, I'm looking forward to the 30s era. The next video, I will be 30. So stay tuned for episode 32. We'll see how that turns out. But thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to my 20s. It's been fun. It's been amazing. It's been great. But you got to go. You got to get the hell up out of here. 30s era, welcome. And the next video, you might see a new piece around my neck. So it's time to acknowledge me. And that's it. 30 minutes. I'm out.